This is Pranav Rao from Smartkarma, and I'm delighted to have with me today Rahul Jain, a metals and mining insight provider on Smartkarma, to discuss his deep dive insight on Zijin Mining, 2899HK. Rahul, thanks for your time today. Could you give us a
Yeah,
brief overview of the company and its history, please?
yeah. Hi, thanks, Pranav. So Zijin is a very large mining group based out of China. They actually initially started from a single copper gold mine, and they gradually expanded into gold and lithium. And they have a very large presence in the global markets. So they're not just based in China; they have footprint across many countries, and I think about 15 countries. They've recently come up with a plan to list the overseas gold assets. So that can be a very promising listing whenever it happens. So they're extremely profitable. They should do about EBITDA of $10 billion roughly, and market cap is above 60 billion. Now their next plans are to expand the lithium. Today it is less than 1% of EBITDA, but they've taken several assets across. Especially in Argentina, where they're developing, and also in Inner Mongolia, so not in Tibet, they're developing a large lithium deposit. So gradually they will move towards more of the battery metals. So that is what the plan is. Now, being present in so many geographies comes with risk. Especially recently, they had a seismic issue, especially in the Congo asset, which they are running jointly with Ivanhoe. So these risks are there, but being very diversified. For example, the overseas gold assets, there are more than 10 geographies where they are in play. So if some issue somewhere can easily get compensated by better production elsewhere. And gold, with the way the pricing is today, I was just running numbers. They should do between 60-70% EBITDA margin, so it's extremely profitable. So it's a promising play, which is cheap and with decent cash generation. With the EBITDA conversion to is almost 90% to cash from operations. So it's quite an interesting play. Yeah.
Got it. Rahul, thanks for that. I think in your insight, you flagged that the company is expected to triple lithium production by 2028. Lithium prices have obviously not done too very well in the last 24 months. How do you think stability of lithium price will matter for EBITDA in 2028?
Yeah, so actually, what I also did a comparative analysis with some of the other players. For example, Albemarle, based out of Australia, they are actually struggling at these prices, and Rio Tinto has also made a foray into lithium, expecting that pricing eventually will start picking up because there was a boom 2 years back and prices got affected. So this kind of thing will keep continuing, and giving that the demand for lithium is going to grow substantially over time, especially as EV kicks in gradually across many geographies. So I think that risk though you have to take, and being the only thing that can control is low cost, which generally, given their profile, how they've done in copper and gold, I think they would meet their thresholds. Now, lot of details are available as to the cost structures and everything, which gradually we'll get to know. So I think we can only go by the past track record and the kind of successes they've had in other metals. They should do fine in lithium.
Got it. One thing you mentioned briefly was around this listing of, or the proposed spinoff of this Zijin Gold International. How much value do you ascribe to that part of the business versus the overall Zijin Mining?
Yeah, so I was actually running through those numbers. Now, thing is that the profitability has now there are two ways to look at it. You look at an average gold price for 3 years, but based on current pricing for gold, it can be very significant. I'll come back with the exact numbers and workings on this, and I'm planning to do a note also on how we should look at it. That will give a better picture. So 75% of the gold assets are in the overseas, so it's fairly large for them, and gold forms about 25% of the 25-30% of the EBITDA. So it will be I think upwards of 5 to 7 billion kind of market cap. I'll come back with details. I just want to give some numbers. Yeah.
Got it. That's helpful. Thank you. I think the last bit is just around mining as a business. I think there's obviously operational and geopolitical risks when operating in high risk jurisdictions, I suppose, like the DRC and the recent suspension we've seen in Kamoa-Kakula. What mines or projects do you think investors should keep an eye out on from a risk standpoint for Zijin Mining?
So gold is far more scattered. In fact, they have. I was just looking at the list. So they have in many geographies: Papua New Guinea, Australia. So their seems to be a bit very well diversified. In copper, they are slightly more concerned given the nature of availability. So now the major project they're developing is the Tulong project or something called like by that name in Tibet. So that is a very large asset, and that is going to be a very substantial driver for the copper business. And see, again, in copper they are a bit diversified, and they have smelting assets also. They have mining assets, and around roughly 60-70% of the mines are smelted by themselves. So they capture the whole value chain, which is good. And see, the pipeline. What happens is that they whatever is being produced, they also have a large pipeline which is under development. So if something is affected somewhere, they can make up with higher production elsewhere. So in the DRC, they are saying that it'll probably get ready by the end of year or early next year, and the impact on the EBITDA if it continues for a year is about 6-7%. So it's not like a earth-shattering thing, but yeah, definitely. And they have the expertise, so they've sent in their people over there, and with mining investment, these are a regular feature. That's why they don't get like those fancy multiples or some of the other sectors get, because these issues keep coming. But what is important is that they are very hard cash generating, and copper especially is also a new age metal kind of reborn because of the EV penetration going up, and it's a kind of a new age metal even though it's very old.
Got it. Well, thanks for that color on Zijin Mining, Rahul. And listeners, do check out Rahul's coverage on company on Smartkarma and tune into our next Smart Call. Thank you.